Hi, this is Evie Ohmsgirl. This is my interview series, Sacred Water, Visionary Women of Freedom. And I'm trying to bring on Noelle Foster, who is one of my mentors and a close friend, and we've done but hopefully maybe because she updated her app, this is going to work. Oh, it worked. Okay, good.
Yay.
So that's all it took was an update.
Fantastic.
Oh, how are you?
Good. Instagram has a funny way of cropping the images.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? And I'm not, the light is really bad. I'm gonna do the vanity thing, because when you're over 50, you get to be vain, and it's totally appropriate.
I feel
I'm
like
gonna go to the
any
window that has
age.
better light.
Yeah, I feel like any age, just enjoy, especially as women, like let's just step into what makes us feel good.
Totally.
Yeah. And this, interview series is about women and just visionary women of freedom and sacred water. And, for me, the sacred water really has been about overflow. And, I was starting to say, although, I had to delete it a couple times, that, you were part of the reason I actually felt safe enough to step into this space, and I'm going to cry. You always make me cry. I don't know why. But, yeah, it's been like crazy journey. And yeah, I just have a lot of gratitude.
Love you, Evie.
I love you too. Sorry.
No,
We get to be raw, right? We get to be
cry
real.
all
Like,
the
this is it.
time. Part of menopause is you just cry all the time.
Yeah,
So
I'm not quite there yet. Almost, but not quite.
Perimenopause, you kind of start getting practiced at it.
Okay, maybe that's what's happening.
It's the best thing ever. Tears are so sacred.
Yeah.
So
well,
sacred.
And that's the water too, right? That's the overflow, the emotion, the intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like tears tell us that we're living. Like we're really living when we're crying, because, we cry from happiness, or we cry from when we finally get acknowledged, or we cry from grief, loss, healing. But usually we don't cry unless we feel really safe and we feel really connected. And kids know that when they feel really safe and connected with their caregivers, that's when they let loose. I know, because I get it at my house.
Yeah. I know. I see it with my youngest stepdaughter sometimes too. We have a lot of similarities, and for sure the emotion is part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I feel like I have a lot to ask, but I wanted to kind of just start with like the basics. And just for you, like, what does the sacred water mean? And yeah, like, did you feel called into this space? Or I know, your story in regards to wanting a business and then you learned it was the water. But yeah, I was curious specifically how this vehicle and the water itself feels sacred to you.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just give you I'll try to abbreviate it a little bit. I was really blessed by having a mother who was a whole foods mother, and we never had any junk food in the house. We literally never had any junk food in the house. I can't remember her bringing junk food home.
Which I feel like for an American life, that's like a big deal.
Shocking. I know.
Now having American stepkids, I'm like, wow.
Wow, right, exactly, because it's really kind of, I'm not even as pure as my mother was, but we didn't feel, I never felt like I was deprived. I didn't feel that way. She didn't make food weird at all. She just made it really nourishing. And she healed our body. She healed us with nutrition. She healed, and if we were sick, which was super rare, we just stayed home and she made soup.
Yeah,
that was it. Like,
yeah.
I think I had antibiotics one time in my life, and honestly, yeah, it probably could have been avoided. But that's it. Otherwise, we didn't have OTC pain meds or nothing. And so I think, and she was a home birther, 3-time home birther, actually.
Yeah.
One of them was so I was born in a hospital. My sister was born at home, and my brother was born in a birthing center. So she raised us with the idea that our bodies were, I didn't know anything different. I trusted my body. I trusted nature. I trusted the fruits of the earth.
I love
And
that.
so then when I got into the world and realized that it was not, most people didn't, like most
Yeah.
people were disconnected, it was kind of shocking to me.
Yeah.
But she gave me a really good foundation for trusting the elements and nature
Yeah.
and my body. And so when I became a mother, I, you know, the things that they offer moms today for birth, there's a reason why we have the worst maternal and infant outcomes of the world. But anyway, that it kind of grounded me again in this note, remembering that this isn't the way it is. And then there's a point to this that ties in with the water very much so.
Yeah, no,
When
the background
I
story is important, so I'm glad you're sharing it.
background, right, is a little
Yeah.
context. When I became a single mother, I I also had this like foundation of like trust your bones, like trust your gut, trust your heart, trust your inner knowing, trust this wisdom that
Yes.
you can't even put words to it sometimes. You just
Yeah.
know to trust it, right?
Yeah. It's not
And
always logical, but it's like your intuition, something deeper that you have to trust in the mystery almost.
yes, it feels right,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And this is a gift that women who have not been tricked out of it. I know you had a good mother who introduced you to yoga, and you got started on that path, right? She's our mothers. If you had a good mom like that, they're bringing us back to ourselves, right?
Yes.
And so when I became a single mother, I was looking at the options of how could I stay home with my kids, because honestly, I don't care if this offends people. I believe I'm a feminist because feminism to me is acknowledging that women get to choose.
Yeah.
So if a woman
Totally agree.
wants to not have children and be 100% career woman, that's beautiful. I support that.
Yeah.
If a woman wants to have babies and stay home, that's beautiful. I support that. That's to me what feminism is.
Me too.
Acknowledging that women have a choice, right?
Yes.
And so my gut, heart, bones, soul told me that I needed to be home with my babies. Like I couldn't imagine, I did not want to go off to a corporation and not see them. It felt so wrong. It felt
Yeah.
wrong in the way that polyester feels wrong and plastic feels wrong.
Yeah. That's comic relief, but it's true. It does.
It felt wrong. Like it was
Yeah.
antipathetic to my soul. It was like
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a level of like compromise or what you'll do for your children, but that level of compromise is like fuck no.
I was a fuck no.
Yeah.
Yes. And I didn't see a lot of options. I didn't see a lot of options for what could I do. I had been a birth doula. Whew, beautiful work. Loved it. It's hard work. It's not sleeping overnights and honestly not great pay. So as a sole earner in California, I needed something that was going to support me sufficiently, right? Which
Were
means
you a
6 figures.
doula after the film work stuff or where in between
Let me
or
see.
both at
No.
the same time?
Uh, yes, after I did the
Okay.
film work before I was a mom.
Right.
So yeah, and I
I remember you knew you were pregnant while that film that you had written like was launching or something, and you
I
thought it
was
was
on
gonna
a
be super success, and all of a sudden you found out you were pregnant, and you were like, okay,
yes, I
guess
got
I'm
a
not going that
lot
way.
of left turns given to me by spirit. It's been wild. Yes, that happened too. I know. So I'm kind of like that's a whole nother story. Maybe
Yeah.
another interview for that one.
Yeah.
But
I guess it's the
uh,
multi-purpose part of you, right? Is like you're doing things.
I'm an artist. I'm a spiritual seeker. I'm a rebel. I'm a mom. I'm a um,
Multi-passionate.
multi-passionate. Yes, and I know you speak to multi-passionates because you are one too.
Yeah. Which
I
you
think I
actually
learned
gave
that
me
word
that
from you.
word. I didn't even know the word before, and I was like, that's what I am.
Oh, where
Yeah.
did you hear that word? Did you hear it from me?
From you, yeah.
Oh, I thought I heard it from you.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so funny.
Maybe I got it from just this zeitgeist spirit, the super consciousness. So yeah, but to the point of like why I was drawn to this particular community, because I have the foundation of listening to my inner wisdom, and also that I knew that health was important and that health could be simple and it should be simple.
Yes.
And I had my mother had issues. She wasn't perfect. She was probably working on those issues in this incarnation that she's experiencing now. But she gave us so many blessings in so many other ways. And so when I came across this business, all I knew at this point when I became a single mom was like, I need to be with my kids and I need to earn a decent living. It can't be just like bits and bobs here and there. And
Yeah,
also,
in California.
oh my God, California is
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's a
But it's
beautiful
beautiful.
state.
And the weather's perfect always, almost.
The weather is fantastic. We've got mountains and ocean and lakes and rivers and desert, and we got it all. We have awful politics, and the economy is dumb. But anyway, so I needed to rise above that situation with, attracting something that was going to make sense for my family. And by the way, my little apartment is a mess because we just moved. So
You really can't tell.
oh,
All you
good.
can see is the fan with the light. Yeah, and a little
Yay.
tree or something in the back.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was my, you've got to be clear in your prayers and you got to be clear in your asks. And so my those things were clear. I need time with my babies. I also, just because of how I was raised and my own personal integrity, I knew that whatever it was, it had to help people. It had to be aligned with health, and it had to help. It had to help. And also, I am not a big fan of consumerism. I'm really not. I don't teach my children that. We're not, what's the right word?
Capitalists.
What's that?
Capitalists? I don't
We're
know.
not capitalists, but we're also not the opposite spectrum of that. Like, we're not nihilists,
Minimalists.
minimalists. Yeah, I like minimalism, but we like
Okay.
nice things, but we like
Yes.
just what we need, right? Just what we
Yeah.
need. We're not going over the top. So I don't really aligning with a business that would encourage people to buy things all the time.
Right.
Feels really also wrong. It feels wrong in my bones. It feels wrong in my heart. It feels wrong in my gut. Just feels wrong. So the water, when when it came into my life, made so much sense. It made so much sense. What do I need essentially? I need shelter. I need good air. I've got an amazing air filter in the house that I spent good money on. It's not a direct sales company. I'm just mentioning it. I need sunshine. I need good food. I need love and connection. I need breath. Like, the things that I need are very, very minimal. I need some raiments. But I'm not a big shopper. But water, and also water was something that I had never really put much thought into. And when I started looking at water, I was like, oh my gosh, I have so overlooked this aspect of my health.
Yeah.
You
Which
know,
even
I
studying nutrition, like, we don't talk about water at all. Like, we talk
is it?
about so many things and we don't talk about water. So, and while I was in nutrition school is when I first came across the water. While I had hypothyroid, I was working at this place that it was a combo. So which I really liked. Like, there was a pharmacy there was an herbal dispensary and supplements. And in the back for us, who worked there was the Kangen. And I was like, this is cool. It talks to you, right? So that was my first. Yeah, but yeah, it's so overlooked. It's crazy.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy that you didn't get any education on water in nutrition school. It's nuts.
No.
I know, it's just so, and we don't really learn about air, or even like you
EMFs.
educated me. Sunlight, why we need sunlight on our
Oh,
pineal gland, why
yeah.
we need it on
The
our skin,
circadian rhythm. Yeah.
right? Yeah. So these are so important, so important. So it was really, the more I learned about it, the more I was just like, this makes so much sense. It makes so much sense, and it's a wonderful company,
Yes.
super high integrity. You and I got to go visit the homeland of Enagic in Okinawa, Japan, which was outstanding, and it just,
so cool.
oh yeah, just reaffirmed that I felt, oh, I'm in the right place. So that's the long story of how I arrived at Kangen and Enagic and this community, really, because I also didn't want to do business in the way that I had seen it in my 20s and my 30s. It just felt so clinical and disconnected, and not, just there was no community in that way of living. It was very corporate, very capitalist, and I wanted something that felt friendly and supportive and could help me grow. So
and is that the part that feels sacred for you, is having that support and having that alignment and all that? Is that if you would call Kangen or this water sacred. Is that part of what makes it feel sacred for you?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I think sacred is an amazing word. I think as a spiritual seeker and long time, the sacred, you can find the sacred in anything,
That's
right?
true. Yeah, I agree.
But um, community and friendship and health and integrity, you know, those are very sacred qualities. And
Yes.
I think that the more we can experience those things, the healthier, the better the outcomes are going to be, the happier we're going to be,
Yeah.
the more satisfied we're going to be. I mean, you can make a lot of money and not have any of those things, and satisfaction level is like,
Yeah,
you know, that, and at the end of the day, yes, I require financial sustenance to support my family and to buy
absolutely.
food. But if I had all that and I didn't have the other thing, it would be
Yeah.
so empty. So
Yeah.
yes, it's very, very, very sacred. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
And
I
it's
feel like you can find a lot of sacredness in things, but sometimes it's like you have to transmute things in order to feel or see the sacred. Where I feel like here it's like automatic at its natural kind of authentic vibration in so many ways. It
yes.
already has that, in its
Yes.
purity. So for me, that's part of why it feels sacred. And the transformational part, which I wanted to touch a little bit on because, I've presented pictures of you and different people in the community, but because we work together, this whole journey of me being in this business, and you were a big part of why I came, is when you did a lot of medical freedom stuff, and seeing especially the under eyes, and for me
Yeah.
too, like the kidneys in traditional Chinese medicine, that's the area, and just seeing you more depleted, and after drinking the water. And I know also with your daughter as well, right? There was certain transformation that happened with the actual water. Yeah,
Yeah.
can you speak a little bit on those? Because I feel like you look younger, than before you were drinking the water and trying to
Yeah.
do all the things as a medical freedom mama.
Yes, definitely. I'd love to. And my son had some really great
Oh,
wins as
right.
well. All of us
Yeah,
did. We all had kind of different kind of issues. Um, we all have MTHFR
me too.
mutations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got like one of the two celiac genes, and we've got comp, and we've got all sorts of crazy stuff, right? And so thank God my mother was a Whole Foods mom, and thank God I was a Whole Foods mom, and thank God I didn't give my kids, the sticky, the icky sticky. Hey, that's a
Yeah.
new one. I'm going to use that one. Icky sticky.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can say that word, and maybe we can say that word on social media now, the actual word. But
Yeah.
um,
Basically,
so,
it's good you weren't into the toxic overload,
oh my
and
God,
you helped to
we would have.
reduce all that.
It would be really difficult. We would be living a very difficult karma right now if that had been our choice. Um, but even without that, we have, we're more sensitive. So and my daughter has sensory processing issues. She was my first child. I was a late in life mom. She got my body burden. In my youth and 20s, I had mercury fillings. So no doubt that some of that ended up with her, and she had some different struggles. Very sensitive tummy, very, very sensitive nervous system, to sound, to touch, to um, didn't like the sensation of drinking water, because when she would drink water, it would feel like um, dense or thick, or
Yeah.
and I know we have all have that. If you're a sensitive person, you drink water that's been sitting around for what, it feels like it doesn't go down
Yeah.
very well, right? And then you get a glass of Kangen, and it's just like smooth, right?
Yeah.
And so my daughter had she had very dry lips. She had which she would pick at, because she's got kind of like OCD type of stuff. She would have constipation, which is really not good to have constipation, right? Especially when you're sensitive, because a lot of things are starting in the gut, because she was dehydrated. My son had, he had a lot of dental issues, actually. Even though we were basically a sugar-free house, we would have like around the holidays, we would have some pies, and I let them, we do switch witch at Halloween, but they get to keep a couple of chocolate candies and eat those. So we really we're not a soda pop house. We're like none of that stuff. Not shaming, not trying to be arrogant
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it. Just
yeah.
we don't like it. It doesn't, it's not part of our family. But my son had all these crazy cavities. He was a breastfed
Mm,
kid. We have good dental hygiene. And I'm like, what in the world is going on?
wow.
And at 3 years old, had to get like a tooth pulled and some fillings, and it was very traumatic. Fortunately, we found a really wonderful holistic dentist who was very. She would meditate and pray in between each like step of the procedure, and she was very sweet and warm, and so it lessened the trauma. Come to find out that the I'm trying to remember the name of the acronym. I think it's IAC. It's the International Association of Biologic Dentistry,
Okay.
and it's really like if you want to learn about holistic dentistry or biologic dentistry, they have all the information. They're an international organization, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of research on dental health and pH, mouth pH. So
Yes.
we were drinking, we were eating vegetables and fruits and all the good stuff, but we were drinking water that was reverse osmosis, and even though I put some mineral drops in it, it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So reverse osmosis is acidic, and it will strip the teeth, and it will strip the bones, and it will strip
Yeah.
your joints, it will strip all of it, right?
Yeah.
And so we changed the water, and my son stopped having dental issues. So my daughter's
Amazing.
constipation went away, my son's dental issues went away. I had different kinds of pain, as a person getting older. I had plantar fasciitis, which I don't think I talked about in my earlier interviews, and I think it was because I didn't realize it had gone away. Like, like when you have a headache and then all you
Yeah.
know is the headache, and then it goes away, and then you don't even think about the headache anymore. So from my years in my younger years of like I had jobs where I was on my feet, sales jobs. My feet were so painful every morning. I would get up and I would put my feet on the ground and I would just sit there and like breathe through the
Wow.
pain. If you've had plantar fasciitis, it's like, it's miserable. And I don't have it anymore. And I also don't have any pain in general, which is really kind of crazy because I just had my 56th birthday. 56. I
You
think
did?
actually.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, 56.
Wow.
And I have no pain. Like,
That's
and
amazing.
I have to say, I haven't been great with my exercise. Like, I haven't been exercising nearly as much as I should be. I'm fixing that.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is hard to
my
balance sometimes as a mom and working and you've been going back to school and yeah, it's a lot.
It's hard, but I
Yeah.
mean, like most people my age, they hurt, right? They've
Yeah.
got aches and pains. I don't have any.
That's amazing.
So and yes, I had kidney issues, and I think, I think I look pretty good. I might be a little
Yeah.
fluffy around my belly and hips, but I feel great. And I really, that is the water. It is the water. Yes, I have a decent diet, but I also had a decent diet before. And that's the one thing I changed.
Yeah.
That's the
I
one
love
thing.
that. I love
Yeah.
that. And so I'm gonna close out by asking, so it's Sacred Water, Visionary Women of Freedom, and you've talked a lot about freedom in regards to being home with your children and the freedom to be able to live more of the life you want. Here's George. Okay, George.
He's
Get
so
down, buddy. This is my kid. One of my 3 kids. Get down, George. Yeah, so in the women that you've worked with, and I know you've worked with some men in your team as well, but what does Visionary Women of Freedom mean to you, and how has this vehicle been able to facilitate some of that?
Well, those are all great words. Vibration, words carry vibration. So
They
we
do.
could break that apart. Yeah. And I'm a writer, so I love thinking about language. So visionary is like, what's your vision, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about it being a sovereign awakening being is that we all have our own vision. We all have our own dreams, literally our dreams, right? We're dreaming a reality, right? We're
Yes.
visioning or envisioning a reality that is right for us, that is
Yeah.
appropriate for us, that is desirable for us. So when you
Which that's sort
support
of working with the quantum too, right? Like with Dr. Joe Dispenza and just the quantum field, the heart coherence. Yeah.
observer effect, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Seeing what you want, believing, you see it with your mind's eye, which is a form of sight, right? And then the
Yes.
more you see it, the more it becomes physical,
Yeah. And the more
denser.
you feel into it as well. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I love that that is in your name because you're basically supporting people to create whatever their vision is, right? My vision was I really wanted to stay home with my kids and I wanted to do something that was healthful and would give us resources and it checked all the boxes. So that's the first word, visionary. What is your vision? People have all different kinds of visions. There are people in our community who wanted to travel the world and they do. There was people who wanted to have a homestead. You can't be commuting every day with a homestead, and they did it.
Yeah.
There's people who wanted to live in the tropics and jungle school their kids, and they're doing it. And so,
Yeah.
what is your vision? What is your vision? And it's possible with this. I believe it.
Yeah.
The
Well, and you've
second
seen it, right, on your team alone. Like,
There's so
yeah.
many examples of it,
Yeah.
with my team. I mean, you've had some
Even so, yeah.
crazy adventures, right?
Yeah,
You lived in the
totally.
DR
Living in,
for a
yeah.
while.
Yeah. And I wanted to
So,
come to the States. This was part of my vision, and here I am.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what was the other part of it? Oh,
Visionary women of freedom.
yes. So women. So I have a son also, but I feel that for the longest part of our history, women unfortunately have not been empowered or nurtured or supported, and we are the nurturers of the world. And so if we can support, nurture, enrich women, I mean, that is going to create so much change in and of itself. And then the last thing, freedom, is just so near and dear to my heart. So freedom, I just love that word. The word makes me smile. You have to smile in order to say freedom. Try it.
Yeah.
Freedom. You have to smile.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and so who doesn't want to be free? And what does freedom mean? Freedom is choice, right?
Yes.
To me,
Yes.
freedom is choice. And so most people don't feel like they have a choice.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. Even though sometimes it may be challenging to figure out how to live your truth.
Yes.
There is, and sometimes you've got to kind of thread the needle or walk a narrow path in order to make that happen. But I really believe that source, spirit, God, goddesses want us to live our truth and live our vision and live to the highest, in the highest degree, in the highest vibration that is possible. So
Yeah. And this
yeah,
ripple effect as well, which kind of, connects with the symbolism again of the water and the overflow. I remember reading this book, Banker of the Poor, it's called. I forget what the man's name is, but yeah, I believe it's in Pakistan. I'll have to double check, but he was saying that he gives microloans and he does it specifically to women because when he does it to women, A, they're more likely to pay him back, and B, he sees the ripple effect on the ground because a lot of women will, have their own businesses with baskets or whatever it is, but it ends up actually supporting the whole community, like the ripple effect, because the women want to connect in that way and have the community. And so yeah, it's a really beautiful book, and it sort of reminds me of what you're saying in regards to supporting the nurture and the freedom to choose.
wow, that's great. Wow, wow,
Yeah,
what a
you'll have to
what
find but it's called Banker of the Poor. That's the title of the book, but I'll have to find some details about it. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, we take those gifts and those blessings and we multiply them, right? That's what the
yeah,
goddess does, right? The goddess,
totally.
yeah, tends to the fields and the hearts and all the tribe, and the tribe for us who are on a spiritual path is oneness and unity, right? So we don't draw a distinction between us and the next town over. So,
Yeah,
which is the same thing with water. Anyway, there's
yes,
so many there's so many
parallels and
correlations and
symbolisms. Yeah.
metaphors, and absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
this is a nice excuse to see you because I know we've both been busy lately because, we were doing our huddle and we're going to figure that out as well. But yeah, it was really nice to just see you and connect and yeah, get to share your story again. So thank you so much for being open to coming on and just seeing
oh,
you. Yeah.
it was beautiful, and it makes me want to make sure that we do this again soon. Yeah, let's get that going.
Sounds
And
good.
maybe another retreat.
Retreat. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Love you.
Okay. Love you too. Bye.
Bye.